I'm not like every nigga you know. Oh no, I'm the same, and I got the same swag. Baby, everywhere that I go. And I got you, lady, so tell me why would I need? But my time is money and my money is time, so we can't take it too slow. Too slow. So girl, just let me know if you with me, girl, like I'm with you.
And then we had like
Cause
these,
I got what you need.
like pretty much selfies of these, or portraits of these models, one for each Binta, Fatima, and JJ. And just from looking at them, we were like, okay, Binta can go here. JJ, she might be in the park, or maybe she'll be in the studio. And that was kind of like a little dispute we had, trying to figure out which one goes where. And even up until the last day that we were sending out, like, the final confirmation to everyone of what their call times would be, we were still like, should we put JJ in Fatima's spot, or should we put Fatima in JJ's spot?
And that was a great decision that you made. So Fatima, who is in the park, was supposed to be in the studio at first, but then you switched it for some reason, and I was just like, whatever, like, cool, I trust you. But that couldn't have been more perfect, because each of the models, their personalities fit perfectly with the scene that they were chosen for.
If you've seen Binta in the desert, she smashed it, like, and even up into the white box, like, everything was not there, and then the last day, everything was there. Like, we're like, okay, we're going to take one car, and we're going to squeeze 8 people into this car.
Shout out to Mercedes-Benz of Portland, by the way.
Yeah.
Came in clutch with the 2017 truck.
Would not be possible. We would have had to rent, like, I don't know what we would have rented.
That would have been expensive.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you so much. Y'all always look out for me. They just got me a brand new car, by the way, just right now. So go get your car from Mercedes.
We shot this whole video backwards. We shot the park with Fatima, and then we shot JJ with the studio, and then the next day we shot Binta in the desert, which was 7 hours away. So this was a mission, like a mission.
So yeah, so we had to fire our first stylist, which was great, because anyway, we found the best people in Brittanee and Tim.
This is where everything falls into.
Why don't you tell them about that?
Well, you said that you had someone named Hannah, and she was a makeup artist, and the really great thing about Hannah was when I had reached out to her, because you had been talking to Hannah for a while before we had the problem with the stylist and everything. I texted Hannah after he came back from New York and gave me all the phone numbers. I texted everybody, and I texted Hannah, and she said that she was booked for the entire month of June and July. Yeah. And she sent me a calendar, and I was like, damn. She was like, there's no way I can do 3 days in a row. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to put that behind us and move on to the next. And then she texted me like 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, and was like, I can move some things around to make this happen. And I was like, please, because we need you so bad.
Mind you, I didn't tell you, but I still didn't have the money for the video.
And the great thing is that all these people were really worked with us, you know, and we did everything we could to make everybody happy. Hannah told me that she couldn't do it, and that she'd get back to me and try and move some things around. And she said she couldn't show up on the last day to the desert, but she would have Shawna.
The amazing Shawna.
So that was wonderful that Hannah moved some things around just to come work with us. Issa had been talking up this girl named Brittanee.
What's up, girl? Brittanee.
I'm trusting Issa at this point, because I'm like, okay, we don't really have time. We're just going to make it happen.
See, the backstory with Brittanee is just such a positive person. Her vibe is just so great.
The most.
And, like, you know, I would see her with her friends would, you know, collide in the clubs, and, like, she'd always be, like, dancing, doing the most, you know, dancing and having the coolest vibe. I knew that with her friends, she always styles her photo shoots. So we met at Century Bar, and I remember she came with a notebook, and we started talking, and I was like, damn, like, she came with a notebook? Like, she's taking notes of everything, and I was very impressed.
We had one full meeting with everybody, and we talked about the video and like what we wanted, and everybody showed up with notebooks.
Bambi headquarters, which is like the sickest condo in town here. But anyway, so we met there.
Penthouse was so cool. I'm like, we're in Portland still?
Yeah.
The energy that I got, I felt like the excitement from everyone. So I walked in feeling pretty good. I was super, super nervous. This was one of my actually first pretty big gigs. Felt more comfortable after the end of the meeting, after meeting everyone and seeing everyone's directions for everything. I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, and when I walked in, I mean, I was enamored by the number of people that were coming together for what I believed to be was going to be a shoestring budget music video we were going to do. And I've shot tons of video, but a lot of my video is directed so people, you know, hey, this is what we're going to say. It's about a business. This was very raw, very just capturing tons of video of people behind the scenes. And then, you know, I've sat down and looked at it, and I got to figure out how to make it engaging and stuff. But I think the process was incredibly engaging for all of us.
I think every situation that we've been in all together and working on this project and coming up with the ideas, everything that we did kind of just built my excitement. So I knew kind of the theme we were going for before the meeting, but I didn't know the extent of what all the different scenes were going to be. So once we kind of specified that and went through everything, I was just getting even more and more excited and coming up with looks in my head and online and doing like face charts and stuff. So I think the more we all talked about what we wanted it to look like, the more I just was super excited.
It's always good to hear where everybody is in the project as far as the creative director's ideas, what the timeline's going to look like, what the models look like, what the inspiration has been, what the storyline is, all of those components when holding a meeting together fuel the creativity. And so as we started to talk about the theme for this video and the 3 different scenes, then the creative juices started flowing, and it was a great brainstorming session. Everybody was talking about the original inspiration that Issa and Nick had come up with, and then we would collaborate all together really with then wardrobe with Brittanee, and then Hannah and I would sit and think about how this was going to work with the wardrobe that we were seeing, with the vision that Nick and Issa had for each Bambi. And then it just started to flow all together, and we all created this great concept of how each day was going to look, each scene was going to look, and how the makeup and the hair and the wardrobe would all come together for this completion of the project.
Everybody was in tune with this video, and I had never met the stylist and the makeup artist, and
It's like the Power Rangers of Portland.
yeah, for
United,
real. And
like-
it was like I didn't know what to expect, and it's like they took their work so serious.
It's crazy to like think where our minds were at day one. And I mean, obviously we were very excited, but we weren't 100% sure what this was all going to be in the end.
Fatima was over getting her makeup done by Hannah. Josh and Nick and Issa were all figuring out kind of like the scene where they wanted to shoot, how they wanted to look, figuring out the lighting. And I don't know, I walked into it, I was like, okay, not really sure what to expect. I didn't know what to expect. I made sure that I did what I was supposed to do and brought my 100%. So I had brought, options for the girl because I had never met her. And so just to make sure that we had something that for sure would work for this scene.
We were nervous.
I was so nervous. I was trying to hide it.
Yeah,
I
was too.
I was like, I don't know how the hell this is gonna work. I've never
know
met.
what they're gonna look
I've
like.
never met these women in my life. The park was beautiful. I was like, wow, that's dope. So whatever the case is, I know it's gonna be at least beautiful imagery. But I was nervous, bro. I was like, But then we start shooting, and then Fatima is just killing it on every scene.
Yep.
So at this point in the video, this is Bambi. Like, this is where he's finding the love of his life. And they just vibed so well together, Issa and the model. And it just worked out super. It all went really well. And the model was perfect, and she had beautiful big curly hair. And we had kind of a Coachella vibe going for the last scene. She has like really pretty beauty makeup combined with some of the more tribal Coachella makeup. And it just all, I was really glad that you could go for the first day so that we could all kind of see how everything was going to work and everything was going to flow. And it flowed great. It worked out really well.
I felt like even though I wasn't working on the other scenes, that especially for the first day, that it was necessary to be there.
Yeah.
So that's really important right in the beginning to make sure that everybody's vision gels, that the energy kind of gets set off in everybody at the same time, and kind of everybody starts to vibe together. And so even though I wasn't really working that first one, I would have been more Miss Hannah's assistant. That was a really important key part, was working with the artists and the behind the scenes crew on that portion.
Because that also helps just the video to go smoothly, like for everybody to just be on the same page and for everybody to know what is in each other's heads. So it was it was really perfect that you were even able to come to the first day of shooting, because everybody loves you.
By the end of the day, I was like, cool, like I can't wait for tomorrow. Like, let's do it.
I heard that when we asked the models what sizes they were, they just said small.
Smalls, that's all. I stalked them a little bit, so I was on their Instagram like, body sizes. I feel like I have a good eye with what size women are or would wear.
Well, I'll give you props, because Fatima looked way
That's
nice.
so cute.
Like each day was amazing, but coming into day one for me, from the behind the scenes perspective, I got to figure out, like, how do I make what we're doing engaging? Because I'm thinking about the audience. I'm thinking about you guys. How do I take what it is that we're doing that's kind of a little monotonous? We got to go through our steps. We got to make sure we're hitting our points and building out just the video, right? Because we haven't even started yet. We got to get them in close. How do I make that interesting? And so I did a few time lapses and a couple other things, and I was messing with the slow motion and but man, like, Fatima looked amazing. Issa was dressed to the nines.
Yeah,
you
that's
actually were
perfect.
dressed super good, and we ended up taking a few shots because she looked amazing that day too. And I think everybody brought 100%. And I think I knew from the first time I met you guys you were going to, because one thing that you guys brought to the condo, everybody brought a notebook. You guys wanted to know what everybody else thought. We were exchanging emails.